Hey, what's up, Tire Change Virgin Gang? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Today on the new art, the Opossum One of Ones. I'm on a 2 square rule. That's all I'm allowed to use in this house. It's a limiting thing. We got Charcadet, aka Charlos, evolves into Armarouge or Ceruledge, depending on, what version you're in, all that stuff. One of the new Pokemon that a lot of people generally seem to like. One of the new Pokemon that people don't really criticize too much. Ceruledge, Armarouge are both awesome. Both kind of look a little bit like Mega Man characters. This one had a lot of detail. Really wasn't that hard to kind of draw. It really didn't take as long as I thought it would. Might have something going on with Card Party involving toilet paper art. Other than me giving it out, we shall see, of course. Nothing is concrete, but we'll see. Maybe something will happen. Anyway, want to talk about cards. We're not here to talk about new cards, unfortunately. Oh no, we're here to talk about old cards, yesterday's news, and the things that are happening with yesterday's news cards that are still happening today. I'm sure everybody remembers this card right here. Oh yes, everyone remembers. It was fucking giving people content for days, and everyone lost their mind when this card came out. Van Gogh Pikachu, once again, just in the center of controversial topics and people just losing their mind over a card when in all actuality, it's just a card and people are putting a lot of money behind it where they think it's going to be just an insane investment or something like that. The investment people, the stonk people for it, maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's still going for a little bit on eBay and all that stuff over here in the States. But I mean, you can pick up PSA 9s for $100. And I mean, PSA time and time again has confirmed that if you just send the card in over and over again, eventually you'll get a 10. It's one of those things. It's a fucking war of attrition. I don't know what to say. You just keep sending it in. Eventually they're just going to take it. But what is going on today with Van Gogh? Is there some new absolute crazy scalping ring for it? No. Is there a reprint for that stuff? No. Is there going to like a huge cash from a found? No. We got something where people are committing a level of fraud allegedly in order to push some of these cards and sell them. And the way they're doing it was kind of interesting. We got another article here by PokeBeach. Once again, thank you so much. Feel free to go actually check that out for yourself. We're just going to go over a little bit right here. Want to talk about it because it's kind of interesting and ties into the market and what's happening with English in general right now. CardMarket takes legal action against Pokemon TCG market manipulators, seeks damages. So this was posted May 30th. So this was 2 days ago. Meant to talk about it a little bit before, but it's just, got a little busy. I appreciate everybody sitting tight. If you're unfamiliar with CardMarket is, it's essentially like the European version of TCGplayer. That's their answer. How it's like Sam's Club and Costco's. You got Rallies and Checkers. You got fucking Carl's Jr. And then you got Hardee's in some places. Yeah, that's the European version of that, essentially. It's the next best thing. It does exactly the same thing for the most part. They just sell cards and list them like that. It runs a little bit differently from what I hear. I'm not super familiar with it, but there's what that is. CardMarket, often dubbed the European version of TCGplayer, see, I told you, appears to be taking legal action against sellers who manipulate the market prices of Pokemon cards on its platform. Well, that is a little bit better than what TCGplayer allegedly was just going to do about it. All they said was like, yeah, we know what's happening, kind of sucks, I don't know. They put out like a letter about it where they were talking, yeah, we see people are doing it. Yeah, we see some crazy buyouts happening. Yeah, it's happening on the site. There you go. What are you going to do about it? And that's what they did. So we got someone actually seeking something for it. In a cease and desist letter obtained by PokeBeach, the company has accused a seller of creating over 200 fake accounts to manipulate the price of Pikachu with gray felt hat promo card. So it's not even called Van Gogh Pikachu, it's Pikachu with gray felt hat. In this type of fraud, allegedly, the seller uses fake accounts to buy the cheapest listings without paying for them, which temporarily removes them from the marketplace. This then allows the seller to offer their own listings for what they want the cheapest price to be. You bought, in parentheses, competing offers that you never paid for nor had the intention to do so, CardMarket's letter says. You consistently aim to provide the lowest price for the specific card on our marketplace. In a total of 31 cases, you were able to sell the Pikachu with gray felt hat card with this action. So, homie off of this. So basically what they did was they eliminated any form of competition to basically set a new low price. Now, this was happening when it came to actual TCGplayer allegedly as well. However, for the most part, for what we can see, a good chunk of these sales either actually went through or the sale was permanently removed from the actual site. It wasn't like temporarily removed and waiting for payment or anything like that. It was actually fucking gone. The equivalent of this would be like, hey, someone else is talking about this video. Say Rock Sandy or fucking ShinyVert wanted to talk about this topic too. And I was like, I don't like that. And I just hit a button that just removed all my competition. And you only had me to go through when it came to videos. Now, I'm not really in that much of demand or anything like that. I'm not as popular as the Pikachu with the gray felt hat, but essentially all they're doing is eliminating any form of competition when removes it, I guess, for like 2 or 3 days. And then if someone wants this actual Pikachu item, they're going to go look at that and be like, oh, fuck, a couple of them sold. Well, here's the next cheapest listing for that sucker. I guess I better get it here while I can get it. It's really crappy. It doesn't promote any kind of form of community. And if you are doing that, you're actually just removing items without any intention of paying for it. Yes, I would imagine that could be considered some type of fraud. And the company, I imagine, definitely wants some kind of thing where they can deter people from doing some bullshit like that in the future. It's just really shitty to do. The company goes on to say this behavior is anti-competitive and is at the very least punishable as fraud. Yeah, especially if you had no intention of buying them whatsoever. You're just kind of trying to get them off the site. Be like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Adios. Fucking going ghost out of this bitch. And then you're listing your cards, basically confusing people and tricking them that some other sales have happened. And then this card is really the only one that you have up for listing. Very similar to TCGplayer, although I'm sure people are actually buying out some of the cards instead of doing this crap like this. CardMarket's letter estimates the seller's action cost over 12,000 euros in damage, or about 13,000 USD. The seller must pay CardMarket or the company will presumably take them to court. I wonder how they figured that out. I wonder how many listings were actually taken down or how they actually came to that realization that was going to happen. Maybe they had to deal with like the people whose listings were removed. Maybe they actually had to do something with that. I don't know how they came up to 12,000, 13,000. This dude must have been doing that a lot. I don't know how much the card was selling for over there, but 12 to 13,000, that is a fuck ton of money for Pokemon cards, especially the gray felt hat Pikachu, the beautiful investable card right there. Anecdotally, Pokemon cards have become more prone to price manipulation in the recent years. CardMarket's legal action appears to be their response to a growing problem. Like I said, TCGplayer is just running through this. And yes, there are some instances where playable cards are kind of dominating the market, but I'm telling you, some of that English alternate art bullshit that's going on, it's actual bullshit that people are really defending that and thinking that's real. Some of the same people had absolutely no problem calling the Japanese equivalent of that for what it was, which was basically manipulation, people trying to do FOMO to pump some stuff up, basically trying to get people to buy some stuff while they can, because they know eventually the bubble for that stuff is going to pop. But when it comes to English, I'm imagining it's because some of these sellers have fucking this card laying around. They see that. It makes them feel really good and warm inside. They're like, oh, I have the expensive version of the card now. This is the one for me. Knowing damn good and well it looks like the same thing, but they hide behind, oh, it's the demand. The demand for this card is what people want. It's the demand for all this stuff. That's why this card jumped up 3 times the price. Not for fucking any logical reason, not on some actual basis of a trend or anything like that. No, just 3 times the price overnight. That's how Pokemon cards have worked before. That's what this stuff is. It's totally demand. That's what's going on here. And it is dead ass because people have some of these cards. It's dead ass because some people have the English version of this stuff, which was actually presumably cheaper. I think it's bullshit across all platforms. I think for the Japanese side, I think for English, I think for Korean, I think for the simplified Chinese that this stuff happened. I think for any of those languages, if any of that bullshit happened, it'd be the exact same thing. And it would definitely be something that's like, yeah, don't do that. There's people trying to pump up this card. There's people manipulating the price a little bit and trying to incite FOMO. And it's just crazy to me that some people don't think that's the case. And for Gray Felt Pikachu, that's what people are trying to do with this stuff as well over in CardMarket. They're trying to eliminate the competition, slash all that stuff up, get rid of it. Hey, you're not doing any of that stuff. No, only my card's going to exist at this price. I'm just removing them without even paying for them either. Without even actually putting your money where your mouth is. You're just hitting a button essentially to delete competition for 3 fucking days. Man, that's some real scummy stuff as well. That's really it. Pay up, man, or just do something. I don't know. I really do think that could fall, in my personal opinion, that's allegedly some form of fraud if that's true. It's just, I don't know, like, how people are defending these like crazy market moves. It's because they have the cards, dead ass. It's because they have them. They want these cards to be expensive, this and that. And even there's people who like money. There's people who like that side of it and actually own these cards that are calling it for what it is. I own a lot of the Japanese cards that like spiked in value, and I was sitting right there too calling it bullshit. I was like, no, this is actual garbage. There's some of the stuff that's going up right here. I don't know if it's going to fucking keep going or not, because it was the first instance of this market being pumped. But seeing as that popped, went right back down, some Japanese cards just absolute dirt cheap. I really do think for the English side of the house that is going to happen, especially as more people leave the hobby, more people step away, more people allocate their funds elsewhere, and more competition steps in for the Pokemon TCG. I really do think players, in my personal opinion, are going to start stepping back in here and probably dictating prices on the English side of the market again. Very much like what's happening with like Ogre Pond, Teal Mask. I really do think that's going to go up a little bit. The Buddy Buddy Poffin, Raging Bolt, all that stuff, it kind of makes sense for the playability side of that stuff. But some of those alternate arts, man, like I get it. They're beautiful cards. Some people really do want them. I do think they should be a little bit expensive, but like for fucking triple, quadruple the price in like a month, you guys are out of your mind. You're smoking some crack. I don't know what the hell's going on. You just got some fucking brainworms or something. And people that called it out in Japanese but not in English, that's some bullshit. That's some real bullshit. And I see where your actual things, though. You'll just follow the money all day. Fucking $1 on a fishing hook. You'll follow that shit all the way off a cliff, I bet. That's all I got. Appreciate it, Virgin. See you later. Good old Van Gogh Pikachu. Can't live with it. Can't live without it. But woo! Just deleting some of them. I'm going to sell that bitch now. You're going to buy mine.